How to pack medications for cruise travel in 2026. Important new rules to know before you board. Last year, cruise security confiscated thousands of perfectly legal prescription medications. Not because they were dangerous, but because travelers packed them the way they always had. In 2026, cruise medication rules changed quietly, and one common packing habit now causes more problems than illegal drugs. In this video, you'll learn exactly how to pack medications for cruise travel, so nothing gets delayed, questioned, or taken. Later in this video, I'll explain the medication mistake that gets more cruise passengers removed than anything else, and I cover cruise rules like this every week. Most people think cruise medication rules change loudly. Announcements, emails, warnings. What actually happened in 2026 was the opposite, and that quiet shift is catching more travelers off guard than any headline ever could. 1. The silent rule changes of 2026. In 2026, cruise medication rules didn't explode into headlines. They quietly tightened behind the scenes. Cruise lines updated enforcement after years of medical misuse, diversion cases, and port authority pressure, but most passengers never got the memo. Embarkation agents now flag medications the way border agents flag passports, quickly, skeptically, and with zero emotional context. If you're relying on, "I've cruised like this before," that confidence can evaporate in minutes. Here's the shift most travelers miss. Rules didn't change everywhere, but enforcement did everywhere. That distinction matters. What used to slide now triggers questions, delays, or confiscation, especially when documentation is incomplete or quantities feel excessive. Familiar habits now create unfamiliar problems. The practical move in 2026 is to treat medications like critical travel documents, not personal items. Every pill you bring should have a reason, a record, and a rationale you can explain calmly. When rules tighten quietly, preparation becomes your only leverage. 2. Cruise ships are not floating airports. It feels logical to assume cruise security works like TSA. Same liquids, same meds, same rules. That assumption causes more medication problems than almost anything else. Airports answer to one authority. Cruise ships answer to three: the cruise line, the port country, and maritime law. Think of it like playing one game with three referees, each holding a different rulebook. You don't get to choose which one blows the whistle. This is why a medication cleared at airport security can suddenly become an issue at embarkation or during a port stop. Cruise lines focus on onboard safety and liability. Port countries focus on national drug laws. Maritime authorities focus on control and traceability. Different rules. Same bag. The safest strategy is to prepare for the strictest possible interpretation, not the most familiar one. If your medication setup survives the toughest rule set, it will survive the rest. That mindset alone eliminates most cruise day surprises. This is where confidence becomes dangerous, because the words "my doctor prescribed it" don't mean the same thing to cruise security or foreign ports as they do at home. 3. Prescription doesn't mean protected. If a doctor prescribed it, why would anyone question it? Because cruise enforcement isn't judging medical need, it's judging legal status and misuse risk. A valid prescription proves you need a medication, but it does not prove that medication is allowed in every jurisdiction your ship touches. Some drugs are common at home yet tightly controlled or outright restricted abroad. Cruise lines know this, which is why they look beyond your diagnosis and straight at the substance. This creates a dangerous gap. Travelers assume medical legitimacy equals legal safety, then get blindsided when a port authority applies a different standard. The issue isn't whether your prescription is real. It's whether the drug itself is acceptable under the strictest law involved in your itinerary. Legal at home, illegal abroad. The smartest move is to research medications the same way you research visas, country by country. When legality is unclear, adjust quantities, documentation, or alternatives before you sail. Preparation beats pleading every time. 4. The medications that trigger scrutiny fastest. Picture this moment. Your bag slides through screening, pauses, then gets pulled aside. What caught their attention usually isn't insulin or blood pressure pills. It's medications associated with misuse. ADHD stimulants, opioid painkillers, anti-anxiety meds, and sleep aids. These categories trigger scrutiny not because most travelers abuse them, but because some do, and cruise lines plan for patterns. not people. Security teams are trained to spot risk signals quickly. Certain drug classes, higher quantities, inconsistent labeling, or unclear documentation. Once a bag hits that category, everything else gets examined more closely. Intent doesn't matter at that stage, only exposure. Risk beats reason every time. The practical takeaway is to identify high scrutiny meds early and build extra layers of clarity around them. Tighter quantities, clearer records, and faster explanations. When you reduce perceived risk, you shorten inspections and protect your trip from unnecessary escalation. You've probably followed this rule for years without thinking twice. But under the new cruise enforcement mindset, the very thing meant to protect you can raise the most questions. 5. Original bottles, safety net, or red flag. Most travelers are told the same advice: always bring medications in their original bottles. That rule still matters, but in 2026, it's no longer the whole story. Original bottles help prove legitimacy, yet they also expose more than you might expect. Outdated instructions, old prescriber names, or quantities that don't match your actual travel needs. Security doesn't see responsible patient. They see data points that either line up or don't. This creates a quiet problem. A bottle labeled for a 90-day supply on a 7-day cruise invites questions. So does a container showing multiple refill dates or mixed instructions. The bottle protects you, but it also tells a story, and not all stories help. Visibility helps, and hurts. The smartest approach is hybrid. Keep at least one original bottle for verification, but transfer daily use doses into clearly labeled travel containers that match your itinerary. That balance preserves proof while reducing unnecessary scrutiny. 6. How much is too much in 2026? Packing extra medication feels responsible until it looks suspicious. In 2026, cruise lines increasingly apply a reasonable use standard, even when no official quantity limit is published. They don't need to prove wrongdoing, they only need to question plausibility. A week-long cruise with triple the expected supply raises flags, especially for controlled or high-risk meds. Here's the subtle shift. Overpacking used to signal caution. Now it can signal intent. Security teams ask a simple question: does this amount make sense for this itinerary? If the answer isn't obvious, delays begin. Extra can equal excessive. A defensible rule is to pack your cruise length plus a short buffer for delays, usually a few days, not weeks. When quantities align cleanly with travel dates, your explanation becomes effortless, and scrutiny fades faster than it starts. Almost everyone who packs a doctor's note assumes they've done enough. The problem is that most of those letters were never written to survive cruise scrutiny. 7. Medical letters that actually work. A lot of travelers bring a doctor's note and are shocked when it does nothing. That's because most letters are written for employers or schools, not for cruise security. They're polite, vague, and emotional. Cruise teams don't evaluate empathy. They evaluate authority, clarity, and traceability. A letter that says you require this medication isn't nearly as useful as one that specifies what, why, how long, and in what quantity. The letters that work share a pattern. They identify the medication by generic name, confirm personal use, align quantity with travel dates, and include verifiable provider information. No drama, no storytelling, just clean confirmation that stands up under scrutiny. Authority over empathy. Before sailing, ask your provider for a travel-specific letter, not a general note. When your documentation answers questions before they're asked, inspections move faster, and your stress level stays low. If you or someone you travel with depends on medication, this channel is for you. Cruise rules change quietly, and missing one can cost you your health, or your entire trip. I cover these updates so you don't get caught off guard. 8. International ports, where cruises lose control. Everything feels safe until the ship docks, and that's when the rules truly change. On board, cruise lines manage enforcement, but once you step into an international port, local law takes over, and cruise protection thins fast. Some countries apply stricter drug classifications than your home country, and they don't care that your medication was allowed on the ship. Port inspections, spot checks, or customs screenings can expose medications that passed embarkation without issue. This creates a false sense of security. Travelers assume that if the cruise line approved it, the destination did too. That assumption fails quietly, and sometimes expensively. Fines, confiscation, or denied reboarding all start at the dock, not the terminal. The dock changes everything. The smartest strategy is to plan for the strictest port on your itinerary. If a medication is questionable in one country, secure alternatives, reduced quantities, or documentation before you sail. One port can define the whole trip. If even one of your medications is sensitive to temperature, this next part matters more than you think, because cruise ships weren't built with medical storage in mind. 9. Injectables, refrigeration, and sharps. Can you trust a cruise cabin fridge with life-dependent medication? Not entirely. Cabin refrigerators are designed for drinks, not medical-grade temperature control. Power fluctuations, restocking cycles, and port shutdowns can all affect consistency. For injectables like insulin or biologics, even short temperature deviations can reduce effectiveness without any visible warning. Sharps add another layer. Cruise lines now track needles and auto-injectors more closely due to disposal risks. Bringing injectables without a disposal plan raises questions fast, especially during cabin checks or medical visits. Cold matters. Disposal matters. The safest move is to use insulated medical travel cases with temperature monitoring and to carry a documented sharps disposal plan. When you control storage and disposal, you reduce both medical risk and security friction. 10. Supplements, CBD, and natural risks. People are often shocked when supplements cause more trouble than prescriptions. In 2026, cruise security treats supplements as unregulated substances, not health aids. Labels vary wildly, ingredient lists are inconsistent, and some products contain compounds restricted in certain countries, even when sold legally at home. CBD is the biggest trap. Its legality changes not just by country, but by port authority and enforcement mood. What makes this risky is confidence. Travelers don't document supplements the way they document prescriptions, so when questions arise, there's nothing to verify intent or contents. It's natural, doesn't help when officials see unknown powders, oils, or capsules crossing borders. Natural doesn't mean neutral. The safest approach is to minimize supplements, avoid CBD entirely unless absolutely necessary, and keep original packaging with clear ingredient lists. If you can't easily explain what it is and why you have it, don't bring it on board. Let's talk about what happens when things don't go according to plan. Because once you're in the middle of the ocean, even small problems can escalate fast. 11. Lost or confiscated meds at sea. Imagine realizing your medication is gone halfway through the ocean. Cruise ships do have medical centers, but they're designed for emergencies, not long-term medication replacement. Formularies are limited, brand substitutions may not exist, and controlled medications are rarely dispensed. Even when help is available, delays are common and costs escalate quickly. Confiscated medications don't always come back fast either. Reviews, approvals, and port coordination can stretch from hours into days. That gap is where real health risks emerge, not from enforcement, but from interruption. Delays compound fast. The most reliable protection is redundancy. Split supplies between bags, keep critical meds with you, and carry a written list of alternatives your provider has approved. When loss doesn't equal interruption, enforcement stops being frightening. 12. Traveling with someone else's medications. Helping a partner, child, or parent carry their medications feels harmless, until it isn't. From an enforcement perspective, possession matters more than intention. When medications are found in the wrong bag, under the wrong name, or without clear linkage to the person prescribed, it can look like distribution instead of assistance. That risk rises sharply with controlled medications or larger quantities. Families run into this most often when one person organizes everything or packs meds centrally for convenience. Security doesn't see caregiving. They see unclear ownership. Help can look like harm. The safest approach is simple. Each person carries their own medications whenever possible, with documentation matching their ID. When that's not practical, children dependents or medical needs, carry a clear paper trail showing responsibility and relationship. Clarity prevents escalation faster than explanations ever will. At this point, everything might sound overwhelming, but this is where it all comes together into something surprisingly simple and effective. 13. The one-page cruise medication system. After all this complexity, here's the good news. You don't need a binder. Experienced cruisers use a one-page medication system that prevents nearly every problem you've heard about. It lists each medication's name, purpose, dosage, quantity, packed, prescribing provider, and any port-specific notes. Clean, factual, and easy to reference. One page answers questions faster than explanations ever could. This system isn't about proving innocence. It's about reducing friction. When security sees organization, alignment, emulsement, and restraint, scrutiny drops naturally. Confidence follows preparation. Simple scales. Before you sail, build one page that travels with you, digitally and physically. It becomes your anchor in inspections, emergencies, and unexpected questions. When everything fits on one page, nothing spirals. Cruising with medication in 2026 isn't about fear, it's about fluency. The travelers who struggle aren't auto-reckless, they're uninformed. The ones who sail smoothly aren't lucky, they're prepared. When you understand how cruise lines, ports, and laws actually interact, medication packing stops feeling risky and starts feeling routine. If this video helped you avoid even one cruise mistake, this channel is for you. I post weekly videos on cruise rules and updates so you're not caught off guard. This video is for informational purposes only. It is not professional travel, medical, or financial advice. Always consult qualified experts before making decisions. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.